Alright, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai, double honors to our apostles and elders, and Shalom to all the Akim out there preaching His word in truth and sincerity. Now, this video pretty much is going to be on how the times we in, how this year, especially this year, is deemed death, destruction, and diligence. How brothers got to be more, more on point as far as how you're dealing when you go out and about and just dealing in general in your day to day. You got to always try to be more spiritual and think before you do things, because one mistake could be your last mistake really, and mess up everything for you and really end it for you. All right. Now we just got done. Brothers just got done, with the Pesach yesterday evening. And that was a serious time, and we're still in serious times, even though we're done with the ceremony. Now we're, going for the unleavened bread with no eating no leaven for a week. We're still in serious times though, even though the Pesach has passed now. So we're still need to be in that serious mindset, like all the time, really, because we're not in the time to be playing around. Because people are really getting put to death out here, all right? And people are getting judged, all right? So the first scripture I want to hit is Matthew 10:16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. That's right, man. We got to be wise as a serpent, man, and harmless as doves. So when you're dealing out here, you got to be wise, man. Always thinking spiritually first and foremost, and not carnally, all right? And then being harmless as doves, because it's not anything that we could do. Like, say, for instance, right, if you out and about, you a demon, whoever, whatever it may be, they try to make you mad and get you irritated, which is ultimately just Satan trying to aggravate you in the spirit. He's trying to provoke you to react carnally instead of reacting spiritually. Because if you was in spiritual mind frame, you would handle things a certain way, versus if you was in a carnal mind frame, you would handle things in the carnal sense, all right? And example of that is like when I was out and about one time, not anytime recently, just like one of the times I was out, and a dude, like a heathen, just doing some stupid shit behind me, just to really, like, really just didn't make any sense whatsoever. Why would you do something like that? But for some reason, Satan was just trying to aggravate me in the spirit, and the brother was there with me. We was both out, and then he seen it too, and he was just telling me, just like, let it go, and like, like ultimately I had the right to lay hands on the dude, but I chose not to. I was like, all right, I ain't gonna even, I'm not gonna do that, because really the only thing that's gonna come out of you getting into an altercation with someone is you getting arrested, and then all this other BS that you gotta deal with now just because of one demon. So I let it go, and then in my mind I was just like, cursing the dude, like, in my mind saying, man, Lord willing, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, judge this piece of shit. So a little bit after that, I didn't do anything to him. I just like, all right, something that, like, that dude gonna get something happening to him. And then like 5 minutes later, so a group of niggas that was around us in that same area, he started messing with them, and they already seen what he was doing to me. And then he ended up getting beat up by those group of niggas, and I didn't have to do anything. And then those same group of niggas that beat him up, they didn't even get caught by the police or nothing. They got away. They beat him up. And then I ended up running into him later, the same dudes who beat him up. And they was just that, like, they came up and said, what's up to me? Like, yeah, we got that dude, this and that. So it's really, ultimately, like, the main point of that was, like, the story is that you don't have to do anything, because Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai will take care of it for you, man. If you like dealing, if you're being spiritually minded, you don't have to do anything carnal. Somebody trying to aggravate you or do physical harm to you, Yahweh Shem Yahushua could do way more to them than you could do to them. All right. This is the next scripture I wanted to grab. Is Romans 8:6. For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And that's right. It's like I was saying, now if that same situation I was just talking about, if I was, instead of being spiritual about it, if I reacted carnally and just turned around, beat the dude up, this and that, 9 times out of 10, I would have got in trouble and got arrested, and then all these other stuffs would happen to me. But being more spiritually minded and just letting the spirit handle the situation, all right, and letting the Lord deal, the dude ended up getting judged, man, and I didn't have to do nothing. Now these those niggas, they didn't get in trouble, but if I would have did it, I would have got in trouble because Satan was really out there for me. Those niggas, they already in the world, so they're not. Satan's not looking for to get them. He's looking for brothers that's not in the world, not trying to be part of the world, like brothers that are awoke, man. All right, brothers in the spirit. He wants you to be carnally minded, because that leads to death, man. That's why you need to be. That's why it's best to be spiritually minded, because that's life and peace. And the scriptures tell you. Let me grab it real quick. When a man's ways please the Lord. Yeah, Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. And you know that 2/3, they're our enemies really, because they don't 2/3 niggas, they don't like us, because they already deemed for destruction, man. So they already hate us off tops, and we hate 2/3 as well. But like the scriptures say right here, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. So when those niggas, they already like, they seen the situation, and then they do start messing with them. They beat the heathen up, and then came back, and then like, tried to be cool with me, because you know, they seen what he was doing, and he was being the fucking demon. But like it says in Proverbs 16:7, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. And brothers, they have a lot of testimonies about that, when it's certain situations you got into, to where normally your enemies wouldn't be on your side, but then they're on your side trying to help you out, just because your ways are pleasing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And then going back to the Romans. Romans 8:6. To be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. Just like it said in Proverbs, when you're spiritually minded, man, you make even your enemies to be at peace with you, man. And the Lord's going to judge them ultimately. All right? So you don't have to worry about taking vengeance into your own hands like these other niggas do, all right? Like these Avenger dudes or whatever. Their whole agenda is like, we're going to take it into our hands to to stop this, or to do that, or do this. The Lord's the one that's going to do it, man. What we're supposed to do is out there prophesying the word, all right, telling what's going to happen, not actually physically doing anything to anybody. All right, because right now we're being spiritually minded, man. Because the time, like the scriptures say in Jeremiah, Jeremiah 16:16. Behold, I send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. So right now we're fishing, man. We're being spiritual, man. It's not the time to be hunters. But when that time comes, then we'll execute judgment. But right now, we're letting the Lord execute judgment. The Lord's going to give us that spiritual power when it's time for us to execute our judgment and start actually put people to death and doing the Lord's will. All right. Right now, what we're supposed to do is prophesy the downfall of this place and then condemn this place. All right, spiritually, first and foremost, before it happens physically. So we don't need to be carnal minded. All right, like these dudes in the Avengers or whatever, and these other groups out there, they more so carnally minded because they're not spiritual. Because if you're spiritual, you will understand that if you like we understand. You don't got brothers out there. We could make exposed videos on dudes that's part of the Avengers, but we don't do that. Why? Because we know that Yahweh Shem Yahushai ultimately is going to deal with those guys, all right? We don't have to make exposed videos showing what they do and showing how they're not right. It don't matter, man. Like, because the Lord, at the end of the day, I know for a fact the Lord's going to judge that nigga, all right, Yashar that fell out. We don't got to do nothing exposing him because he exposes himself every day. Every time he make a video, he exposes himself for even more. That he's just a demon. Just like all the other dudes part of the Avengers. So we don't have to do nothing. The Lord's going to do everything, man. Alright. So with that, I'm going to end the lesson right there. Give all praises again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to our apostles and elders. And shalom to all the Akim out there, preaching his word, truth, sincerity. And just, brothers, always remember you got to be spiritually minded, all right? And not carnally minded dealing with any situation. Always think spiritually first and foremost. Even if you are in the right, that doesn't always mean that it's best to react carnally. Even though it may not be, even though you may be in the right in a situation that goes down, it still doesn't make it right to react carnally, all right? You should react spiritually first and foremost. And we have the greatest example of that, which is Yahweh Shai. All right. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.